Hello from Guam. It is sunny and bright here, and I am extremely happy to be here because I feel like it's summer again. But look how beautiful this place is. Less than 10 hours of arriving in Guam. I am here meeting already with almost, 7, 8 members of the Korean War Veterans Association in Guam. So I will take you to meet with them. I already had a very nice meeting with them, but I want you to hear their stories from them, okay? So this association of the Korean War Veterans, they have about 30 members. Of course, there are more from Guam, this island, who volunteered in 1950 to go to Korea. In 1950, however, the Guamanians were given citizenship as American citizens in 1950, and I thought it was amazing that they volunteered as soon as they became American citizens. Hello, do you want to walk with me inside?
Hey.
Say hello to everybody, and say, what is your name?
Alfred C. Ignacio.
See, he's wearing the Korean War veteran. And you are a rifleman?
Yes, ma'am. This badge is combat infantryman's badge.
And what year did
you have to earn it in order to be qualified to wear it.
What year did you go?
I was there early 52.
52. For
Early.
how long?
1 year.
1 year. 52 was a hard one.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know.
That's when I arrived there.
Oh man. When did you?
Then we go straight after the line.
Oh, to 30th parallel.
Yeah.
Yes.
They call that main line of resistance, MLR.
Were you
At
born?
that time.
Were you born in Guam?
Yes, ma'am.
How old were you when you enlisted?
I wasn't even 18 yet.
You weren't even 18.
Well, my mom has to sign my paper.
Oh my! Well, why did you want to join?
I don't know, I just want to... I loved guns when I was young.
But it's war. Going to war is another thing.
I know, I wasn't thinking about that. I've been through all that before.
But now that you come back,
You know, during the Japanese time.
Yes.
And they shoot.
yes. But now that you came back, what do you feel about your, service?
I appreciate it. I like it. I'm proud of it.
I hope you're very proud of it. See, I gave him my heart to thank him for his service in Korea because, like I said, you're my grandpa. I'm your granddaughter, right? Okay. Okay, well, let's go in now because they're waiting. Go in.
Thank you.
So
I have knee problems arthritis.
he's 86 years old. Wait, yeah, 86 years old. Okay. Ta-da! Say everybody say hello. Hi. Okay, we're gonna start with the president. So, President, could you say your name out very loud? And I know, how old were you when you joined the Army, and just what you remember.
My name is George Paris. I was born in Guam in 1990. I moved to the mainland, and when I retired civil service, I came to Guam. But before that, at the age of 20, I was drafted in San Diego, and for the next 18 months, I was in the Army. Four months of those 18 months is training, and the rest of the time in Korea on combat assignment.
Were you part of the 1st Cavalry?
I was the 1st Cavalry. My assignment with the unit was a forward observer for the 105 howitzer in support to the 8th Cavalry Infantry during assault times. And that's my life in Korea. Thank you.
Well, did you see a lot of battles?
Well, yes. The only regret I got in so many ways is that I was not able to see the country on a more pleasant time. It's always during confrontation.
Have you returned to Korea?
Yes, we went back twice. One on the 2005, and the other one was 2010. And those are very I won't call it pleasant, but very memorable event in my life. I was able to more or less find out why was I over there. I really did not know what was I doing in Korea during the time I was there in combat. I didn't realize that my presence in Korea was not just to fight a war, but to avoid communism in, how you say, the country or where?
That's amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna sum it up. He said that at the time when he went to fight or he was drafted, he didn't know exactly why. I mean, you were all very so young, But when he returned to Korea and saw the prosperity, right?
Yeah.
And the people in 2005 and 2010, he understood why. That he defended that freedom,
Yeah, that's where it is. When I look around me, I see the outcome of the war, but mainly it's the avoiding the movement of communism.
Yes. So he helped the spread of communism, and he saw it with his own eyes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm gonna of course talk to my grandpas here, but sometimes we don't hear the stories of the spouses. Okay, and in Guam, I was told that 2 earned the Purple Heart, and here we have a spouse of a veteran.
Oh, me?
Yes, who earned the Purple Heart. So if you can, first of all, tell us your name over there, and your husband's name. Yes.
My name is Julia Gomez, and my husband is Carlos Torre Gomez. And he served in the Korean War, during the Korean War. And he was just 18 years old. And he got wounded in Korea. He stepped on a landmine. And he told me, he said that they were already up on the hill. But then when he turned back, he saw his lieutenant got wounded. So he went back to pick up his lieutenant, and that's when he stepped on the landmine. And so in 1998, we went to Korea, the 2 of us, and we went to the Korean zone, and he was looking over the North Korea, and the sergeant major says, sir, you seem kind of, he didn't want to talk about the war. And he said, you seem to be looking at this side, and it was the North Korean. And he said, yes, I serve in pork chop. That's why the heel is. And he says, the major said, you serve in the Korean? And he says, yes. And then I opened up my mouth. I said, he got wounded here in Korea. And so the major general says, Sergeant Major said, it's right behind those tall trees. So he could never see the hill, but it was right behind. So
I know what she's saying. So, because I recently, so not the DMZ where, the Panmunjom, but in the middle, you see the entire landscape.
Yeah,
okay? The Heartbreak Ridge, I was recently there. Yes. And you get to see it all in one, right? It's just all one scope, okay? And so he probably was, for the first time, probably saw how it looked like, right? Because he was so busy fighting in it, he didn't see the landscape.
But that's why I remember the pork chop here. And when, according to the Purple Heart, my son was here, he got out of the army because he wanted to be like his dad. And he did a research, and they gave us a book that, I don't know, what did you say it was? 43 Regiment or whatever. And it listed all the men from the 1980s, all that participated in the Korean War. And in that, I think it was page 43, my husband was the Medal of Purple Heart, and my husband was there with another Chamorro, which is, I think there were two of them that got the purple.
So
And
tomorrow,
the guy that I think is still alive in Mauricio. That I know.
Okay. Okay, next, can you tell us your name?
Yes.
My name is Jesus San Nicholas. I'm a member of the Korean War veterans and Vietnam veterans. I was in Korea late part of 1993. I believe the war is just about over that time. I came into Incheon and they assigned me to Osuri, Yongpo. That time, before I joined the military, before I joined the Korean War, I have members of my next door died in Korea. This is back in 1952, by the name of Pedro Benavente. No, Juan Benavente.
Benavente.
And that's what I want to find out about that, because people say that it's only personal or equipment on the coffin. But I don't know whether that's called missing person. And we buried that in Isagana Cemetery.
I don't understand. Your neighbor
My neighbor.
died, but you volunteered?
I was, after the, that time that Benavente, I went to the service. But John Benavente was the mission only equipment inside the coffin. And I don't know whether that's the called missing in action. We were talking about missing in action.
So, but you came back 1 year after.
Right.
Yes, and by then the armistice was signed.
Was assigned
Yeah.
back in 1952.
Yes. Well, I'm very glad. And you served in Vietnam too? Wow. Thank you so much for your service. Yes. These are heroes, everybody. These are heroes. Okay. Not last, but of course.
Okay, my name is Bernard Coco. I was born in 1927, 91 years old. I'm a Korean War veteran, and I enjoy myself during war. Of course, I don't do anything, but I enjoy myself. I have no regret in becoming a Korean War veteran. I make a lot of friends. They're all nice people.
Because, are you the oldest here?
Yes.
He's the oldest.
Yes, he's the oldest.
You're the oldest here. But well, you don't look the oldest. Was there an element, and this may be very touchy, but I want to ask openly, okay? Because I know a little bit about history. Because same thing for Korea. Korea was under Japanese colonialism during, of course, well, Korea was for a long time, but Guam was under Japanese occupation during World War II. And I know, as in times of war, there were many unpleasant, that's a very light way of saying it, acts that were committed during that time. So was there an element of, because America liberated, right, Guam from Japanese occupation, was there an element of, like, you wanted to serve, you know, in America, and serve America because you were thankful? Was there any?
You know, at that time I was only 26 years old, so I don't think those things.
Oh, okay.
I think that a lot of the local
Yeah.
are very
They don't bother
much
to know.
U.S. Serving their country, and they're proud to be part of the military. For one thing, it's some of them enlisted because they need to go and support families, others, you know, but they are very faithful Americans. And they want to take part because, like you said, we went to the Japanese and it wasn't very, you know, we experienced a lot of animosity and all the things that they did to us. So I think that's also contributed to being faithful to, because of the liberation from the United States. And that makes it more meaningful for them to serve under the United States.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
All the more reason why I always say, you know, war sucks, you know, let's try harder for peace. Okay, I have now two more spouses. If you could tell us your name and your husband's.
Patricia Guerrero Torres Diaz. My husband is Jose Flores Diaz.
When did he fight in Korea? When did he fight in Korea?
1950. He joined the army. He's not drafted. He joined the army and he served. So I know then went to the war. And
What year? Do you know what year?
1950.
No, I mean, when he
1950 to 1953. And
wow.
then he re-upped for another 3 years.
Oh wow.
Once he got out.
Do you remember what he said about his experience in Korea?
I'm not too sure. I know he went out. His son watch. You know, this 24 hours watch.
Oh, he was on watch.
Yeah. Up at the hill.
Yeah.
Chuck Hill, whatever
Oh,
that
wow.
thing is. So, that's all I know.
Okay, well, we honor his service.
they don't like to talk about the war.
And
City Tartano, married to John Joseph Tartano. I don't really know all about him because I retired. He was retired when I married him. So the only time that I know that she was in Korea, then she retired. So I don't really know the background when he was in Korea. So the only time I know him is when he retired and so old he's breaker.
well, I'm still glad, however, that you're active in the association. So, here's another thing that I do want to point out, that I think that as women and children and wives of veterans, you know, I encourage everybody to ask the service members about their experiences. And, I think it's very, very helpful and healing to the veteran if the children and the wife ask, hey, what happened? Tell me stories. That's all I'm doing. I go around and I ask. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I was very jet lagged. I could not sleep at all yesterday, and Mike, picked me up. I already did outside, but tomorrow is actually the ceremony. Yay! Yes, at 10 o'clock. So don't forget to wear your hearts. And I want to just show my friends, last but not least, and my friend's wife, beautiful wife, Sujit, is filming right now, but this is Mike's request. And Mike is a Korean adoptee, okay, from Minnesota, but when he heard about what I was doing, he's like, I live in Guam, I'll help. And so he's been so generous with his time. I'm staying at their apartment, but can you tell us what kind of, maybe you could stand up and go over there, like why you were motivated to do
The reason I was motivated was obviously I'm Korean, I was adopted. I grew up in Minnesota, so I have a lot of, and my wife is Korean, but really the only thing I knew about the Korean War growing up was MASH. So that's all the knowledge that I really had. I knew the dates and that kind of thing, but I really wanted to learn more about it. But then when I saw what you were doing with your cause and your project that you were doing, going to all the states, visiting all the monuments, I didn't realize that you were going to be coming to Guam, and I just happened to be here on Guam. And when I saw you were visiting another U.S. territory, that's when I kind of reached out to you and said, hey, are you coming to Guam? And you said yes, but you didn't have any contacts here, so then I just kind of volunteered.
Yeah. And God is great. God is amazing. He sends me angels wherever I go. Last but not least, thank you for your service. I know you also served for how many years? Where?
I did 6 years, but I was with the Army National Guard.
Okay, so
Minnesota.
Yes. So thank you for your service. The National Guard. He recruited the National Guard to come tomorrow as well. So again, everybody, I'm just going to show all my grandpas and grandmas one last time. Say hi. Wait, what do you think? Like, we did it. We did it outside, but in Guam, like in Hawaii, we say aloha, mahalo. Is there something? Hakane.
Half a day, all day.
Okay.
Half a day, all day.
Okay, everybody.